Well, children have reached the time of school. So many of them walk through the school gates for the first time with a great sense of excitement and enthusiasm. Not all of them. For some, that first walk is one with tears and hesitation. But nonetheless, and after not so long, most children who start out at primary school are moving into a stage of development where the emphasis is on the mastery of new skills. I have, in my mind, in respect of parents, thought of this stage as the stage of parental involvement. Children are revelling in all the skills that they can now develop: reading, writing, and other academic things, sporting skills, artistic skills. They can participate in all sorts of group activities. They can be a member of a team. They can be a member of a drama group. They can master some social skills. They can make friendships. They can have play dates, sleepovers, camps. They also start to enter areas like challenge and exclusion and rejection even. So this stage of primary school is all about children putting their energies into mastering new skills. They want to be great skateboarders, or they want to be great dancers. And they put huge energy into this. And it's a very healthy thing that they do. Now, importantly, because children are so enthusiastic and joyous about these skills, they want their parents to be involved. They want their parents as a witness. They want their parents to be part of what they're doing. So this is a wonderful opportunity for parents, and that's why I call it the stage of parental involvement. And it's very rewarding for parents because parents are very involved at primary school. There are all sorts of things that happen that we may take for granted: assemblies and working bees and barbecues and school camps and the like. And we can notice that parents are very heavily involved in this. And this has a very important developmental purpose, because by being present, the parents are helping children negotiate some very important psychological skills that emerge in the context of their drive to master things. So the parents are standing on the boundary, or they're around the hall while the children dance. But we must remember that with all the enjoyment and shared involvement, there are important tasks that are taking place. So while the primary school years are a very enjoyable time generally for most children and parents, it's not just a matter of children and parents coming along for the ride. There are important tasks that are being undertaken. With children's developing skills, they often take themselves to heights and to levels of expectation whereby they encounter some difficult psychological issues. They come to compete and they want to do their best. They get themselves into situations where they come to realise that the world, for all its opportunity, has things in it like sadness and hardship and threat. And often the exposure to things that are difficult to understand and embrace becomes a challenge for children, and so it's not uncommon for children to develop what we might call childhood fears, because they have, they can read and they can watch TV and they can take an interest and they can put themselves into various situations where they encounter these things, yet they may not have the wherewithal to put it into a perspective where their fears don't overtake them. And so often it's an important time for parents to patiently and calmly help them discover resources within themselves to manage worry. It's also a time when they're mastering and exploring their capabilities, where their competitiveness and their urgency to perform well confronts them with demands that stretch their emotional tolerance. And so they come across anxiety, cheating, despondency, avoidance, coping with disappointment, dealing with frustration that when their efforts don't meet their expectation. And so this is an important stage where parents help youngsters come to terms with all that achieving involves, and helps them to manage disappointment, to see themselves positively even in the face of disappointment, and to help them know that they are worthwhile, not because of success or notoriety or celebrity, but by virtue of their effort and their perseverance. And in order for children to learn this, they need their parents there and involved to help them both retain an enthusiasm to strive and to develop skills, but then to deal with all of the emotions that they encounter then and will go on encountering when their imagined mastery falls short, or where they don't gain attention, or where they're not seen to be successful. And parents are on hand to help children learn how they are successful, even in failure and in disappointment, and when things don't go the way they hope. So this stage of involvement, when there's so much energy and effort put into the development of new skills, not complicated yet by things like sexuality and intimacy and the prospect of career, that's still ahead. But when there's this innocent, let's say naive explosion of energy for mastery, parents are on hand to provide children with the capacity to understand what it means to maintain a good sense of self-esteem, and also to be able to understand the place of others in their pursuit and the importance of friendship and respect for others in the pursuit of these skills. So the primary school years are a wonderful, rewarding, enjoyable time for parents, but it's the time of involvement, and I want to encourage particularly dads who may have plenty on their plate, as do mums, but encourage dads to make the time to be involved and to be ready and prepared to help children discover how to see themselves positively and how to strive and persevere, but with a respect for the fact that they won't always be able to achieve whatever they want.